Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Woodrow, and this, as you can see, is the DC Connect catalog for December, for comics mainly coming out in February 2023. Apologies for this being a bit later than last month, but it is December and time flies with holiday prep and end of your work stuff and all that, but you don't really care about that. That's all excuses. Anyway, getting this out and what should be just about a week before final order cutoff, so still plenty of time to finalize your order, add some things that you may have been on the fence about, and so forth. So without further ado, let's jump into it. We've got a new Superman #1, which I'm sure King Dap is very excited by. It's written by Josh Williamson, who admittedly I haven't read a lot of his comics. I know he had a very long run on Flash the last few years, with art by Jamal Campbell, who I very much am a fan of. So Superman is a bit of a tough draw for me. I don't generally gravitate toward reading his comics on the regular, but I do like to try books that I'll relaunch. So I will give this a try and we'll see where we go from there. We've got Wade and Mahmoud's final issue of Batman versus Robin. Huge fan of Mahmoud's art, so I've been enjoying, and Mark's writing, to be fair. So I've been enjoying this, looking forward to it getting wrapped up on a high note. Another one of these Batman One Bad Day one-shots. I think they've been doing a nice job with those. And I have no pull toward Clayface whatsoever, but the fact that this is written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, who are doing an amazing job on Captain America Sentinel of Liberty at the moment, with art by Hermanico, I'm going to give this a try because I like all the creators involved. Nightwing continues to be one of my favorite superhero books. This is 101, which is coming off the massive issue 100 we talked about last month. Okay, so Milestone. It's difficult for me to say that I think DC's done a great job with the Milestone license. But that being said, they could be doing a lot worse. They are attempting at least to build a new audience for it. I don't get the sense that there is much broad interest for Milestone, which bums me out. But I have always been a big fan of the imprint since its launch back in the day. So I'm here for it. I'm here for every attempt that they make. And this is a new static book called Shadows of Dakota. It's a 6-issue limited series co-written by Nicolas Draper-Ivey and Vita Ayala, with art by Nicolas Draper-Ivey. So as you can see here in the art, it looks beautiful, and I like the character very much, so I'm going to be on that. We've got a Milestone 30th anniversary special, one of those. DC does a nice job with these one-shot anthologies that are thematic, and this is another one of those. Tons of creators involved, so I won't list them, but basically a bunch of small Milestone-centric stories in one issue. I'll also be getting that. And we have Icon versus Hardware, #1 of 5. As you can guess, this is a mini-series where Icon and Hardware are facing off in some capacity. So pretty excited to see 3 Milestone books, and all of them look like they're well done with quality creators. So hopefully they're hits. We've got the second volume of DC versus Vampires, which collects issues 7 through 12. I have been absolutely loving this series. I will say they probably didn't do themselves any favors by taking as long as they did to put it out. That being said, it was a 12-issue series, so it was going to take a long time, even if it came out every 4 weeks. But if you haven't been reading it in monthly form, I would definitely recommend that you check it out in collected form. I am a bit disappointed that we didn't get a solicit that would include both volumes. I'm thinking maybe we get that next month, but that's a little defeatist, right? Because if you've gotten people to buy the issues or the first and second trades, there probably aren't that many people looking to double dip a series like this, even though it's been very fun. And so I'm beginning to think we're just not going to get a single volume of this, and that bums me out. I was counting on that. If you've never read Batman The Doom That Came to Gotham, they're reprinting it in a new volume. This was Mike Mignola and Richard Pace who wrote this story with Troy Nixie and Dennis Janke on art. I read this just a few years ago. I think we talked about it on the show. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we did, because we did an Elseworlds episode where we each picked a few Elseworlds books to discuss, and this was one of my picks because I had just recently gotten to know Troy Nixey and got an absolute stunning Moby Dick commission from him, so that was the impetus for me to check this book out. Very fun, well, not fun's not the word, but an excellent story. If you're a fan of Mignola, then you will absolutely love this Elseworlds. And then we've got the obligatory rest of the catalog, as they say. Couple notes: Batman Beyond the White Knight, number 8 of 8, so it finishes up yet another in the long running at this point Sean Murphy Batman White Knight universe. I think they've all been excellent, and you know, there's so many Batman books out there. I don't blame you if you haven't been reading his stuff, but I will say that in terms of quality, particularly on the art side, I don't think there's been a better Batman run over the last 5-6 years, because if he's not drawing it, people like Matteo Scalera are drawing it, and so you can never go wrong. We've got the 3rd issue of Danger Street, which is Tom King and Jorge Fornes' 12-issue miniseries that launched this past Wednesday. The first issue came out, I thought it was excellent. And I believe, this is the final issue of the DC Horror Presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, number 6 of 6, written by Bruce Campbell, yes, that Bruce Campbell, with art by GOAT Eduardo Risso. Listen, I'm not particularly a huge Sergeant Rock fan, so I wouldn't say this is like must-read stuff, but if you like Army comics and you love Eduardo Risso's art, as I do, it's been certainly worthy of putting into your stack. Justice Society, I'll continue to say how thrilled I am to have that back, and I hope it has a nice long run. I don't know what the heck's been going on with Superman Space Age, but they finally are soliciting issue number 3. Human Target number 12 of 12. Speaking of Tom King and 12-issue maxi series, this is the final issue of the amazing series he's been doing with Greg Smallwood, and I won't be shocked if that, in fact, doesn't get a hardcover collection solicit next month. I'm counting on that too, so hopefully they won't disappoint me in back-to-back months, DC. Wildcats, I'm sure I'm not alone in having thought it would be awesome to have Wildcats back, but I will tell you that the first issue did very little for me, and I did pre-order the 2nd and 3rd just to round it out, but I barring a major pickup in both the tone and structure of the book, I'm probably done with it. And there you have it. So apologies for my dog barking. We have Santa Claus on a fire truck coming through the neighborhood, and so my dogs are not having it. But anyway, there you have the DC Connect for the month, and I will be back with looks at the other catalogs.